We're the Whiskey Sippers, and this is Yellowstone's limited edition 2023 and 2024.
We'll be right back after this.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We're glad you're joining us. I got Patrick here, who's filling in while Devin's out on deployment.
Honorary Sipper, back again.
Yep. And we have today some Yellowstone limited editions, the 2023 and 2024 versions.
That's right.
Now, the 2023 version is finished in the Takagi casks, which I found out are actually Hungarian. It's like a Hungarian wood.
Yep.
I always thought, like, just by the name, it was Japanese. But
Yep.
that shows I was wrong.
It's funny because I thought the same exact thing.
Yeah, but when I tried the Penelope and we looked into it, that's actually Hungarian. So it is actually a blend of 7, 13, and 16-year bourbons. At 101 proof. Now, it does say distilled in Kentucky, but it says distilled in Kentucky, bottled at Limestone Branch.
Yep.
Not distilled and bottled.
Yep.
Which makes me think they have sourced probably the older whiskey, most likely from probably either turkey or bean.
Could be.
And blended it together. So it doesn't say for exactly where it came from. That's just my guess.
Yeah.
So,
and it's very similar for this one too. For the 2024, it's got a 7 and 17-year-old bourbons that are finished in cognac and brandy casks. So this one probably might be a little bit sweeter, but same thing. Distilled in Kentucky, bottled at Limestone Branch Distillery in Lebanon, Kentucky.
Yeah. So we have some older juice with some still 7 years, pretty good.
Some
juice.
Respectable time frames.
Distilled somewhere in Kentucky.
Yeah.
Blended together and proofed down to 101 proof. But the major difference is Takagi versus the cognac and brandy.
Yep.
And we'll kind of give you our opinions on what we think of them.
And these are also both fresh cracks. Awesome. Well, cheers.
2023.
Yeah. Give it a good nose. And
that's got a really dark nose.
oh yeah.
Like that smells like an aged whiskey.
Well, it definitely has some ages there, 16 and 17.
Right, mixed with this, but we don't know the percentages. So
no, that's
7,
true.
16, 17, it could be 5%, 17, 5%, yeah, 16, you'd have no idea.
Just say it's on the label.
But on the nose, it's got that dark, dusty quality that you get from older whiskey. It's got a little bit of, it's got the brown sugar. It's got some sweetness, but I get a little bit of cherry in there too. I
was going to mention cherry.
Yeah.
Get some of that red fruit.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, this is.
It's got a nice nose. I like the way it noses.
I like how it swirls too. All the legs are running like it's a fine wine.
I don't drink wine, so I have no idea.
I drink wine. All the sugars.
But it's got a nice nose. Give
it
a
does.
try. Here we go.
Cheers.
It's cold. So that's got some nice tobacco, leather.
Yep.
Like you taste aged whiskey there.
I was going to say, what you just said, also a good oak presence. It's not overpowering the rest of the juice. Very good.
There's a little bit of dustiness there.
A little dusty.
That reminds me of like an older turkey.
Could be.
I mean,
we don't know.
We don't know, but just that it reminds me of like an older turkey. It really does. Like some of the Russell's 13s.
Not the 15.
No, it doesn't have that. It doesn't have that kind of punch, but it's also 101 proof, so there's no way you would know. But it kind of reminds me of like some of the Bardstown, like the Discovery 11, which is rumored to have some older turkey in it. It reminds me of that a little bit.
I get a little bit of like the ethanol on the back. It has a little bit of like a tingle.
A little
very,
bit.
Very like almost like a little anesthetic where it's like, oh, you're a little tingle, but not like you know what's going on still.
I like the palate. My major complaint about this would be there's really not much of a finish.
Yeah.
And there's like there's
drops
no
off.
there's no hug. It dies at the back of my palate.
Yeah.
It really doesn't go any further than that.
It's all on the front and mid, nothing on the back.
Yeah, and it doesn't have, well, it has kind of the dusty quality of an older whiskey. It doesn't have the mouthfeel of an older whiskey.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have the viscosity. It's almost like this really, really needs to be 115 proof.
I mean, I would love a higher proof.
Yeah, I mean, but I think the higher proof would bring that finish and mouthfeel.
Yeah.
It's almost like it was proofed down too much. Like, it's got a nice palate. I like the taste, but I need a finish there. Especially these are what, about
120 bucks. I think 120
Yeah.
MSRP. I got one of them for that price and the one I got for 100. So
yeah, at that price point, I need this to have more of a finish than that has, at least for the 2023. And then move to 2024.
Mm-hmm.
So this is actually, so I get less of the kind of like leathery quality and more of the fruity cherry.
I was gonna say I get some more cherry. I get definitely
the 20. I almost get a little more ethanol.
I would say
on this one.
Yeah. Well, it's odd because they're both fresh cracks.
Yeah, but that could be due with like the barreling and the blending. I mean, there's more than just like whether it's fresh crack or not that has to do with kind of how the ethanol comes through.
Despite the fruit, I do get like a little bit of like an earthy tone. It's gonna sound weird to say like dirt, but I get like a little bit.
I don't quite get that.
I get a little bit of dirt.
I definitely get less of the leather tobacco.
Yeah, I get like other earthy tones.
Yeah, and it's more ethanol fruit forward.
Yes.
All right, give that a try.
Yeah. Cheers again.
Skull.
A sweeter taste.
I think the finish comes through a lot more on the 2024 because I kind of get that bitter grape.
Yeah, that's from the cognac.
Yeah,
and the brandy.
Right.
I think I get that a little bit more from the ethanol of those particular cask finish, but or barrel finish.
The cognac and stuff are made grapes, right? It's all grapes, and I get that kind of bitterness that you would get from a fruit that I didn't get in the 2023.
I agree. I also think just because of the
it does have a better mouthfeel.
Yeah.
It's more coating in my mouth, but it's got that little bit of bitterness. And it's almost a trade-off of, do I want the better mouthfeel, but less bitter?
Yeah.
Than more of the tobacco leather in the 2023. So I'll be honest, to me, I've had several finished barrels now. I've had some Cabernet and brandy finished stuff, and
maple and other stuff too. Yeah.
But specifically the stuff finished with brandy or wine, I haven't particularly liked.
Yeah.
I think it brings out a bitterness that just, to me personally, I dislike.
See, I like certain wine finishes when it comes to like a cab or some of the darker reds.
The only thing I've found that I kind of like is the sherry finished. Some of the sherry finishes.
I love the sherry finish.
But like between these two, to me, I would rather sip neat the 2023 because I like that kind of darker leather tobacco.
It's more traditional bourbon.
Yeah, than the bitterness of the cognac.
I would have to agree.
Between the two, if I was buying one, I'm definitely buying the 2023.
I would agree.
To me, it's more of a classic bourbon. It's got some of those darker leather tobacco notes. But in all honesty, at $120, I'm probably not buying either.
Yeah.
So
one and done for me. But if anybody else wants to try one, feel free to let us know.
And this is just a 2023 and 2024. I'm not sure how long they've been doing the limited editions.
I'm not sure either. I know there was a 2022. I did get to try that from a friend, which kind of curved me to try the 2023 and then eventually get this.
Now, are they all finished? Do you know?
Is
it each year finished in something different?
Someone poured me and said, "What do you think of this?" And I said, "Oh, this is pretty good."
So you really have no idea.
I really have no clue. So it was a really honest opinion. However, I was actually looking for a specific bottle that a store through OHOQ's website said they had, and it was actually a store down the street. So it was the wrong store, but they had this, and I was like, well, it's not a completely useless strip. Now I have both years, and I thought it'd be a really good idea to like bring to the channel or just try with somebody and that's why we're here today.
All right, so there you go. There's our honest opinions.
Yeah.
They're not bad. $120 seems a little overpriced to me.
Yep.
Between these specific two, I'm picking 2023. It's just a better for someone who prefers more just a straight bourbon or rye and less, not really big on finishes. It's just the better bottle.
I would agree, and I still think that as crazy as it sounds to use this as a mixture, I think it would pop in certain things with like maybe an old fashioned or something like that, because of those sweet notes and the characteristics of like a brandy and those like grape notes.
Next time you want a cocktail, go to Patrick's. He'll give you a $120 whiskey in your mixer.
Just because I like you. Just because I like you.
All right. So there you go, guys. Thanks for joining us. Please hit that like and subscribe button and let us know what you think. If you're a big fan of Yellowstone, or maybe you've had it and you said, yeah, that's not worth the price. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, let me know. Did I make a terrible decision of buying two?
All right. So until next time, remember, the best bourbon or whiskey
is the one you like the most.
And we'll see you.